from the westernunion.com VIP Lounge.
All the way live, you know what it is. One only Big Von sitting here. I'm gonna call you a legend because you know you're a legend.
Oh,
Some of the
man.
greatest songs you probably ever heard in your life came from this guy, especially if you love the hip hop, the one, the only. ALC, my man, the Alchemist.
What's up, Big Von? How the
Welcome
hell
back to
are
the
you?
Bay, brother.
Always good to be here,
Glad
man.
to have you here out here one
Yes.
time. What's been going on with you, brother?
I've been on the road with my man Action, you know what I mean, for the Mr. Wonderful album, and just been in the lab and just cooking up, trying to keep up with the young boys.
Yeah.
It's a lot of beat young producers out there, and I don't want them to get too close to the throne, so I gotta, keep muscling.
Gotta kid them back, right?
Trying to take the seat. And I gotta.
So tell me about
keep
the
it warm.
sound you've been working on now. Like the sound you're trying to create. We all know your sound, the samples, the breaks,
Yeah.
nice drums.
Yeah.
Are you changing it? You got new ingredients, or what you trying to do now?
I mean, I was able to work last year on the Grand Theft Auto 5 score. I actually scored the joint with like three other people. Right. So it was like a crazy experience because I couldn't use samples. Right. So it was like it kind of opened my eyes to things that you could do and keep the same style. Because my style is dirty. It's based on a style we grew up off listening to, which was from records. But it was like, I started thinking because of the video game, we had to create a bunch of music that we could sample because we didn't really want to sample any old loops. And so it was like, it gave me a formula to build on the future. Almost like, DJ Khalil, who I think is probably arguably one of the best producers in the game these days. And he was telling me this for years because that's kind of how he produces. Like he'll assemble a bunch of musicians and just make music, then chop it afterwards. Right. So it kind of just got my mind thinking on the next wave. How to do my little shimmy and my dance moves to get away from these sample policemen, because they're always on my back. I got to do a new dance move every month to try to shake them off, man. It's crazy.
For those that don't know about the Alchemist with the breakdown with the samples, not only is he one of the best to do it, he's also like the FBI G14 classified. He will not tell you where it came from. And I've tried emailing, calling, texting, and having people ask him.
Yeah, I have amnesia, like, conveniently.
I don't
have
know
convenient
where it came
amnesia.
from. I don't know. But nowadays with the internet, where you could just put your music up and put it out there, is it more free for you now? You can say, man, look, I'm sampling that. It ain't like I'm really pushing it and selling it. I can just put it on the internet the way it is. Are things better now?
I mean, to a degree, because it's like, if you're doing a mixtape and things of that nature, or you're putting out something free, you pretty much don't have to worry about what you're sampling. But it gets tricky sometimes because if they can, you just leave it up to a lawyer, you know what I mean, to figure out some angle. But if they can prove that you're making money on tour or off merchandise, sometimes it gets tricky. But a person like me is like, I don't really give a shit because I feel like once you get it out to the world, it's gonna live forever. So with certain things, put it up on the net, let it live, and just go. And that's why we have like the mixtape outlet. You know what I mean?
So things are better now, or how you feel about the times? Like the old school, you was there when the sampling was cool.
Yeah.
Then they cracked down.
Yeah.
And now it's open season again.
It's the Wild West all over again, the way I feel, because there's new artists who are experimenting with samples who probably never had in the past. And then so the issue comes up every now and then depending on what the case is. Like, you remember the old Biz Markie scenario that happened back in the day, which kind of blew the whole up originally, where they took his album, off the shelf. I don't hear that happening too much nowadays, but here's the thing I could say. If you're a producer and you're sampling, don't worry about it. Go do your thing, because if they're coming at you, that means you're doing something right. They only come at you when there's money involved. So a lot of under the radar projects, you can just get away with murder. But if you're gonna do something where you're making money, even for me, if I'm working with a big artist and I know it's gonna reach or it's gonna be on an album, it's gonna be through a major label, I'm a little more careful than usual. But it's an art, and you got to do what's inside you. So it's really not the sample; it's what you do to it, anyways.
Has there ever been a time where you was extra tricky with it? You were like, "All right, man, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna filter it, speed it up. They're never gonna find it," and they caught you.
Never got caught on those.
Right.
Luckily, there's wood around here.
Hit the wood.
Some wood over here. I'm good on that.
Right.
I'm good on that. Yeah, but I think that's part of the art of it. Is trying to take it and do something with it. Sometimes you let the record is so dope and there's a portion that you're like, it would be arrogant of me to just add drums to this because it's already rocking in the loop and let it live. Other times you take a piece from here, a piece from there, and you make some that could have never been done. Those are my favorite beats because it kind of is something that nobody else can do. But Yeah, it's like a collage style beat. You know, take something here, there, and there, and just blur the lines and let's go.
What's one sample somebody flipped or a song that you was like, I was gonna do that and I just missed it by a hair? It had to have been one.
Which one would that be? I'll tell you right now. We were just talking about this crazy. What was the Drake mixtape when he first came out? Best. What was this hit? Drake's hit. The best I ever had.
Yeah.
I definitely had that sample on the machine like a month before that came out.
Yeah.
But I was doing it like I didn't have any drums to it. I kind of chopped it up and just had it rocking. Sometimes I'll do that. Like I'll chop a sample and just sit with it until I find the right drum. Then that song came out and I was like, oh, okay.
Like, oh, yeah, I was there. I was right. I was on the right path.
I think it was Boy Wonder. And, you know, shout out to Boy Wonder because he killed the beat. It was probably better than what I would have done with it. So, but sometimes that happens, man. And it's some funny because these samples sit in crates for 30 and 40 years. Right. And all of a sudden in the same month, 2 and 3 producers are hooking them up at the same time. It's always crazy like that. Some weird shit to me.
I once watched a movie where they said that Jay Dilla was making beats and Madlib was hearing it. It seemed like they was talking to each other like, yo, man, somebody, what producer makes music where you're like, man, this guy is producing music that's for me, that I look at this guy like, and it's probably he looks at you the same way.
Knots.
Really?
Knots. Oh No, which is my partner, you know what I'm saying, in Gang Green. But I'd say those two, when I hear the beats, I'm just like, damn, man. Knots percentage. If you ever get a beat tape from him, if you're a rapper, you already know, man, he's nuts. You know what I mean? Just out of his mind with the way he hooks up the beats, the sounds. I think those two, you know, and Oh No I'm in a group with, you know, he's also Madlib's brother. So that family is on some other. Like, I don't know what went on.
Like, what
kids.
they doing over there?
I don't know what's going on. I could never keep up with them, but I say it like it's a sparring partner, you know, because, I mean, Oh No will just send me beats or come to my crib with 30 new ones, 40 new ones. And I'm just like, yo, fuck you, man. What am I supposed to do here? You know, all right, I'll hit you tomorrow. Try to compete. But that's how all of us, we compete with each other. It's like a little circle. There's a lot of people like that. Evidence is like that. Jake won. Man, I could go down the list forever. A-Rab, Scram Jones, man, Salam, Remy, just a lot of people. It's like a circle of all the people who make beats, and we all kind of just keep in the loop.
What's one artist out there that needs some ALC in their life? That you say, you know what, dude, you need me. R&B, country, I don't care. Who is someone that you know that you can make one for? They be like, and it's gonna be there. You know you got one. You see him all the time. Like, man, if it was on top of my track, it'd be crazy right now.
I mean, I feel like unfinished business. I feel with Nas, man. I feel like I never finished what we could really do. Because we had a good working relationship for a while. There was no reason why we didn't stay in the loop. It's just 2 different lives, but. I might just send that message out to Nas, man. Unfinished business. Come back, man. I got some things for you. You know, that's one thing I feel like we never finished what we could really do.
I know it's gonna be another project coming, man. You got to put another one together. TikTok is still on my phone right now.
That was a good time. You know, that was my first days coming out, chopping it up with you too. Coming out here, you know, when I did the first album, it was a good experience. You know, like when Koch was rocking and you know Jim Jones was coming out and Khaled was coming out, and we were all kind of just growing as artists, you know, and to see where they all went and where everybody went, it just kind of makes sense. It's like
so you got to do it again. You got to put this thing together, man.
I have some ideas, you know. I definitely have some ideas because working with Action and working with Mac Miller, working with Currency, working with Earl and Schoolboy, it kind of helped me bounce into this new generation of kids who it was weird because I didn't have to switch my shit up. It was like at first I was thinking, do I gotta listen to what they're doing now? But I really just, when I hooked up with all of them, I just did what I always did, just make what I thought was dope. And they liked me for that, and it was like a blessing. Like that, you know, just do you. So that's how I found a little bit of a foot with the new group of talent who I think is dope.
What's different from the young boys from the old boys that you see in them? Is there more drive in the young boys? Was there more drive in the young dudes? Or was it harder back for the old dudes to get to where they are now, where you had to go hand to hand and have a DAT tape in your pocket? Or now you got the internet? The
drive now is in the studio. The drive used to be spread out. You spend some of your energy in the studio. Some of them you're hitting the cities. You're going to the clubs. You're passing the CDs out. You're going to the mix show summits and all these events. You know, now I think it's really like they know they could sit in that little cubicle in their crib, make some and then connect it to their SoundClouds or their social medias and things and just take off. Yeah. So it's like, I think the kids know their power now. You know what I mean? Where it's like they could literally, like Amigos or somebody who just sat in a little tiny room and made these hits, connected to the world, and now it's a real thing now. Yeah. So I think that's the difference. Is the energy is really, once they realize they got it, they just stay in that small space. No big studios, no more, none of that. It's like a little room, a little laptop. Hits.
How is that? You come from the $1 million studio, from cats sitting in the house making albums. They do like, here's one, because I'm OG, you OG, we go way back. What's your old man rant you say to the rappers? Like, man, I had to go drive to the Bronx to give you the beat. Now y'all got an email. What's one thing if I ask anybody, they'd be like, yo, I'll keep talking about this.
One, man.
What's one you say it all the time?
I mean, I don't think they understand about the 2-inch tape. Like when we used to have to rewind it back. You have to wait, like, they're like, play it back. And then you could press play on the Pro Tools now. You used to have to wait for the tape to rewind back. And when you were in the booth, it kind of gave you a little bit of a patience, a level of patience. This is when if you had to do another take, you had to wait. Okay, rewind the tape. All right, run it again. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was usually like 5-10 seconds, which is like, to an artist now, it's like unfathomable. Like, I run it back. What's up? Just press the space bar, you know what I mean? So that's some old shit.
Crate digging. You'd have been city to city around the world having to go around crates. Now you see a young kid, he just Googles it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Crazy?
Oh, yeah, that's one, yeah. But you know what? All right, so there, you can dig still with records the old way, but you also have the internet and a vast, amount of that's on the net that you could get in MP3 form, wave form, whatever. But it's like, I do both. You know what I mean? I'm not the dinosaur that's like, yo, you gotta have vinyl. I am transferring all my vinyl to digital. I'll buy or find stuff on the internet, but what I do is I still travel, and I make it a thing throughout the world to still buy records. So when I go to like Ghent or Belgium or some weird part of Germany and I find some records, I'll always go online and type them in and see. Still 50-50. Like, some of the stuff is online, some of the stuff you still gotta go, through these little marketplaces and old record dusty stores, and it's part of it. It's like a fisherman just fielding it.
The classic, the legend, the one and only ALC, the Alchemist, man. What you want to say to your people, some fans out there, man?
Good looking out, man. You're still hanging in there, you know what I'm saying? I'm not finished. Got some more coming soon. ALC Records, independent. Real soon. We're doing a lot of more vinyl again. Yeah. Just putting out a bunch of vinyl singles, taking it back to that singles, putting out good music. That's it. Stay tuned.
It's all coming. Stay locked. We still got more.
Yeah.
ALC.